When we think about what governments and nonprofits do, we need to recognize that the work that they do is done through organizations and institutions. As we were looking at the curriculum for this MPA program, as well as the curriculum across MPA programs, organizational theory is really a cornerstone for these programs because we care about how public services are provided. And to care about how public services are provided means to care about how organizations operate, run, how the people within them are treated, how people perform. This course will look at a range of these issues. I became interested in organizational theory when I was working on a small program in rural California working on issues for kids. And what I found was as much as people cared about these issues, and there was commonalities in that, it was structural issues, it was people issues, it was policies that got in the way of effectiveness. And that made me excited to think about how do we study these, how do we understand them, and how do we operate as public administrators with knowledge that help us overcome these barriers, help us maximize effectiveness of our processes, our people, and our procedures. And that's what got me interested in studying organizational theory, and I hope that this course will provide you all with both traditional and contemporary theories that help us understand where our organizations have been, why we have some of the obscure structures sometimes we still have in our organizations, as well as some of the innovations we're trying out. My name is Willow Jacobson. I work currently with lots of local governments in North Carolina on issues around design and people management. I've also worked with state governments and collaboratives working on a range of issues to help organizations think differently. And I'm excited to get to be part of your experience in organizational theory, and I hope you'll find it as useful as I find it.
A Kamara production.
Hi, congratulations, you finally made it. Welcome to Management Today, your one-stop destination for any and all information on strategic management. Into this video, we are going to talk about the gurus of management. And the one and only name at the top of our list is Chester Irving Barnard, the man, the myth, the legend. For some of you wondering who Chester Barnard is, let's put your mind at ease. For starter, Mr. Barnard is deceased. Unfortunately, he is no longer with us today. May God bless his soul. Amen. Taking a glimpse at Chester Barnard's life, he was a Harvard economist, a public administrator, and author of pioneering work in management theory and organizational studies. Mr. Barnard, who is often called the irritated executive, was also an American businessman who began his career at the American Telephone and Telegraph Company, now known as AT&T, at Boston in 1909, and then president of the New Jersey Bell Telephone Company from 1927 to 1948. If you haven't put the pieces together yet, let me help you out. Mr. Chester Irving Barnard is my management guru. Mr. Barnard, who was born in a small town in Massachusetts on November 7, 1886, inspired a great deal of people and institutions over his 75-year lifespan. And that's one of the reasons he is at the top of our management guru list and is the main character in this little story. Books such as The Functions of the Executive and Organizational Management are some of the groundbreaking works Mr. Barnard is famous for. But let's simplify them by discussing his theory of organization, which he called cooperative system. Nowadays, organizational structures such as this and this are popular among contemporary businesses. Big companies such as Google, Facebook, or Amazon have conformed to this idea of organization, and it's all thanks to the vision of Chester Barnard. Mr. Barnard saw organizations as a cooperative system. His idea of organization is pretty simple. He believed that people have their own individual motivations, but when they assemble to work on a shared goal, they become an organization. Pretty easy. However, Mr. Barnard also believed that that organization needs to prompt compliance and enhance the willingness to comply and to conform among its individuals, because those individuals may themselves have their own goals which might not be completely aligned with the goals of the organization. This simple idea is what creates the organizational structures that we see today in various businesses and organizations. In understanding how organizations foster compliance and build those structures, he focused on three aspects of communication. 1. The need for formal channels of communication that connects every aspect of the organization with each individual within it. 2. For these channels to be effective, everyone must understand how they work. And 3. For these channels of communication to be as effective as possible, they must be as short and direct as possible. With this, Mr. Barnard anticipated the delayering of organizations as evident in the 1960s, and then subsequent ideas like holacracy and holacracy. As if these ideas weren't revolutionary enough, Mr. Barnard further went on to describe organizations as composed of smaller sub-organizations. He argued that these smaller organizations are able to act with less formality and therefore with greater responsiveness. Moreover, he argued that as these smaller organizations grow, they must adopt more and more of the formality of larger organizations until there is a point where they undergo internal fragmentation due to lack of sustainability. Although Chester Barnard isn't as popular today as he was in the 90s, his legacy lives on. He is regarded as the spiritual father of social systems school. Mr. Barnard influenced human relations thinking and continues to influence our understanding of organization and management. Okay, I have shared with you my management guru. Tell us in the comment section down below who's your management guru. And one more thing before you head out, remember to click the subscribe button, alright? Thanks for watching. See you soon.